Hey, friends. In this episode, one was drawn to this beautiful fairy tale of two great modern-day tribal icons, who have captivated our northeast India and taken the world of weightlifting by storm. Yes, my dear friends, they are no other than Jeremy Lalrinnunga and Miss Rinhlui Hrashel of Mizoram. But before we travel to Mizoram and evade their lives, I just want to remind you friends, please subscribe, share my channel and leave a small like. It means a great deal to me. So friends, let's begin our trip to this beautiful state of Mizoram and know these two individuals. I will begin with Jeremy Lalrinnunga. The boy who lifted a nation. The Jeremy Lalrinnunga story. In the lush, green hills of Mizoram, where the whispers of the wind tell stories of resilience, a young boy's dream was forged not in gold, but in iron and sweat. This is the story of Jeremy Lalrinnunga, a name that means a sign of victory, a prophecy he would one day fulfill with trembling muscles and an unbreakable spirit. Jeremy's journey began not in a fancy gym, but in the dusty, vibrant bylanes of Aizawl. Born on October 26, 2002, to Lalrinnunga and Lalremui, he was a bundle of energy, like any other Meezo boy. His first love was football, dreaming of scoring goals under the floodlights. But destiny, it seems, had a heavier weight for him to carry. His life took a pivotal turn during a talent hunt by the Army Sports Institute in 2011. They weren't looking for footballers, they were scouting for future weightlifting champions. 9-year-old Jeremy, with his raw, powerful build and determined eyes, was selected. It was a moment of both pride and heartache. It meant leaving the comforting embrace of his family, his home, and his football dreams for the strict, regimented life of an athlete in Pune, over 2,800 kilometers away. Imagine a child, barely 10, homesick and lonely, in a Spartan hostel room. The barbell felt alien and intimidating. The grueling training sessions pushed his small body to its absolute limits. There were nights filled with silent tears, where the only thing heavier than the weights was the weight of his own longing for home. But within that young heart burned a fierce fire. He would call his family, hear their encouraging words, and the next morning, he would be back in the gym, his small hands wrapping around the cold steel. His potential was undeniable. Coaches saw in him not just strength, but a rare technique and a champion's composure. The boy from Mizoram was quickly rising through the ranks. But the path of a champion is never smooth. In 2016, a severe back injury threatened to shatter his Olympic dream before it even began. For many, it would have been the end. For Jeremy, it was just a hurdle. With immense grit and painful rehabilitation, he fought his way back, his resolve hardened like steel. The world first took note of this prodigy in 2018 at the Buenos Aires Youth Olympics. At just 15 years old, Jeremy stepped onto the international platform. With the weight of expectations on his young shoulders, he lifted. He grunted, he strained, and he conquered. The gold medal was his, and as the Indian national anthem played in a foreign land, a nation watched with bated breath, discovering its newest sporting hero. However, his greatest test came at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Competing in the 67 kilograms category, Jeremy was the favorite. In the snatch round, he was flawless, lifting 140 kilograms and taking a commanding lead. But during the clean and jerk, disaster struck. On his first attempt, a searing pain shot through his thigh, a hamstring injury. The arena fell silent. Most athletes would have withdrawn. But Jeremy Lalrinnunga is not most athletes. He had come too far, sacrificed too much. He looked at his coach, his eyes filled with a mix of pain and defiance. He decided to continue. He stepped up for his second attempt, his face a mask of agony. He lifted the weight, his entire body screaming in protest, and somehow, miraculously, held it steady. The crowd erupted. He had done it. He couldn't even attempt his third lift, collapsing in pain afterward. But that one courageous lift was enough. He had won the gold. As he stood on the podium, tears streaming down his face, unable to even climb the steps without help, the world saw not just a gold medalist, but the very essence of a champion. It was a moment of profound heartbreak and breathtaking triumph, her image that encapsulated a lifetime of struggle and sacrifice. Today, Jeremy Lalrinnunga is more than a weightlifter. He is a beacon of hope for every child in the remote corners of India who dares to dream. He is a symbol of Mizoram's indomitable spirit. His story is a powerful reminder that the heaviest weights we lift are not made of iron, but of sacrifice, hardship, and pain. And it is in lifting those weights that true champions are born. His journey continues, each lift a chapter in an inspiring saga of a boy who left his home to conquer the world, one weight at a time. The next big influencer of Mizoram is my favorite, that is Miss Rinhlui Hrashel. She is more than an influencer. She is a digital daughter of the Meezo hills. Rinhlui Hrashel is a force of nature from Aizawl, Mizoram, who has woven the vibrant threads of her culture, her unapologetic authenticity, and her razor-sharp wit into a tapestry that has captivated not just Mizoram, but the entire digital nation. She is the girl next door. If the girl next door had the confidence of a queen and the comedic timing of a seasoned performer. Rinhlui didn't just create content. She built a window into the heart of Meezo life. Through her viral videos, she celebrated the unique quirks of her community, the specific hum of family dynamics, the hilarious universal truths of growing up in a Meezo household, the beauty of traditional puan, shawls, paired with modern ambition. She was the voice that said, "We are here, we are fabulous, and our stories are worth telling." Her power lay in her relatability. She wasn't a distant celebrity. She was your sister, your best friend, the one who perfectly mimicked your mother's disapproving glare. She laughed with her hundreds of thousands of followers, not at them, creating a powerful sense of shared identity and belonging. Unfortunately, she went through a wave of unjust scrutiny. Today, that vibrant voice faces a daunting challenge. Rinhlui Hrashel has found herself and her family at the center of a vicious and deeply personal cyberbullying campaign. The spark was a private family matter, a topic that should never have been dragged into the public arena. Yet, it was seized upon by online trolls and factions of a judgmental mob. They have weaponized social media to launch a relentless attack, dissecting her personal life, hurling baseless accusations, and subjecting her to a level of misogynistic scrutiny that is both archaic and cruel. This isn't criticism. It's a coordinated attempt to shame, silence, and break her spirit. It is a glaring example of the dark side of fame, where a public figure's humanity is stripped away, and they are treated as a commodity for public consumption and condemnation. How has she and the Meezo community rallied? But the story does not end there. The attack on Rinhlui has backfired spectacularly. It has ignited a firestorm of support that reveals her true influence. Her community has risen to her defense. From fellow influencers and celebrities to everyday citizens across the Northeast India and beyond, a powerful chorus of solidarity has emerged. The hashtag #IStandWithRinhlui trended massively, flooding timelines with messages of love, strength, and outrage at the treatment she has endured. People are passionately calling out the hypocrisy, the toxicity, and the blatant injustice. They are defending her right to privacy, her right to make personal choices, and her right to simply exist without being hounded. This support is a testament to the genuine connection she has forged over the years. She built a community, and now that community is holding her up. Rinhlui Hrashel is currently navigating this storm with a grace that only underscores her strength. She represents a Meezo generation that refuses to be silenced by anonymous hate. Her situation is a painful chapter, but it is also a powerful rallying cry against cyberbullying and a stunning demonstration of what happens when authenticity is met with fierce, loyal love. She is Rinhlui Hrashel, a creator, a cultural icon, a daughter of Mizoram, and now, a symbol of resilience in the face of overwhelming and unjust adversity. The digital world holds its breath, waiting for her triumphant return, knowing that not even this darkness can dim a light that shines so brightly. These two are the most loved and great influences who have ignited a new generation of young Meezo, beckoning to the youths of Northeast India, that dreams are made with pain, sweat and personal sacrifices. On behalf of my family, I just want them to do well in the future. Mangtha Lay.